And our third wellness advocate for today is none other than a registered nutritionist dietitian. We have here Justinne Go. Good morning.
Hello and good morning.
Hi.
Nice to be here.
Very nice to have you here. And of course, this wouldn't be a coffee session without our beautiful Janice, Escario-King.
Hello, Claire.
Hi. Good
Hello.
morning. Ladies, please feel free to drink your cup of Lumiché guilt-free coffee. This is a coffee session anyway. And so while we're having our coffee section, I'd like to ask you, Justinne, because you are a registered dietitian and a nutritionist, how did that journey start?
Well, to become a nutritionist dietitian, of course you have to take the course. It's a Bachelor in Science, Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics. So it's a 4-year course, and we also have a board exam. So we are PRC license holders.
Wow.
So it's no joke. We are basically like food doctors. So it's a medical profession, and we work with the rest of the medical team in managing a person's health. So yes.
Very scientific days.
Yes.
Approach.
The backbone of our course is really nutritional biochemistry.
Biochemistry.
Yes.
That's going to be great for today's entire theme and entire topic, because here in our Lumiché series, we just love diving into all of these, the science of things and the psychology of things.
So I've always been curious because I don't know the difference. What is the difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian?
Yes. So actually, in the Philippines, you're both when you graduate from the course of nutrition and dietetics, and there really is a difference between the two. Basically, nutritionists manage more of general wellness, general health, and food, and they mostly deal with food behaviors. So the big difference is really that dietitians are the ones who can manage people with medical conditions. So we can diagnose and we can treat illnesses because we do medical nutrition therapy. So that's what we call it.
So nice.
Yeah, so
Since you already, right? I love that you gave us the thorough process of how you really became a nutrition dietitian. But I want to ask, Justinne, what inspired you to become one?
Yeah, so I've always loved food. I grew up loving food. I love to eat.
Food is life.
Food is life. I even have a battle scar. I have a burn scar from eating, getting food right off of the pan while it was still hot, when I was still very young. And so I love to eat, and initially I wanted to be a chef. Naturally, right? So if a person loves to eat, most likely they'd want to cook as well. So I thought of becoming a chef first, and then one day I read in the newspaper, sometime in high school, that Shangri-La Resort in Mactan, they also had a nutritionist aside from chefs in their resort. So I thought, oh, this is the first time I came across that profession, and I think the two titles or profession would go well together. They both deal with food. And so after high school, I took up my culinary course first.
Oh.
Yes, and then I actually wanted to go on and just become a chef already because I really enjoyed it. But you know, life happens, and for some reason, God brought me back to the original plan, which was also to take the nutrition degree. And so yeah, and I've always been athletic as well. I grew up athletic, so I was also into fitness. I started going to gym at an early age. At I think 10 or 12 years old, I started going to the gym already. But you know, just the usual cardio, like going on a treadmill, maybe doing a few floor exercises. But I was into sports a lot as well. I was into tennis and volleyball. So, and I would, even in high school, I would already subscribe to newsletters on fitness and health. So I read that in my email before.
Very passionate about fitness.
About food, about fitness, yeah.
You know what? You say that it's so common, it's so usual, but Janice, I don't think nothing is common about what she said. 12 years old, already thinking about all of these things.
Yeah, and I naturally didn't really like to eat meat before. It was only when I got into culinary school that I started eating more beef. I started appreciating butter, but those things I really wouldn't eat when I was younger. Like, diba, when you're on PAL, they used to give you complimentary soft rolls with butter. Like, I just skip the butter and I just eat the bread.
Wow.
I'd feel disgusted seeing my mom eat so much butter because she loves it. And she would slather a lot on her bread and I'm like, that's so oily.
But now you do.
Just a little, in moderation, yes.
So you've always been very health conscious, ever since you were a kid.
Yes, interested in that aspect, yeah.
So how has being a nutritionist-dietitian influenced your lifestyle, your health, and everything that you do every single day?
Yeah, so usually, mostly athletes would also be health conscious, right?
Yes.
So you think of how to fuel yourself right for your sport or for your competitions, but most of us, I think, only have like a general idea and a vague idea of what healthy eating really is. So in my case, before I took my nutrition degree, I tried to lose weight as well because I also gained the most weight when I was in culinary school. Of course.
I can imagine.
I was eating a lot. And so I tried to lose weight by trying to eat healthy, which what I did was I would just eat fruits for dinner or maybe just a vegetable sandwich. And it's really not enough. It's actually not a complete meal. So that's not exactly the way we should be eating if we want to lose weight or if we want to eat healthy. Of course, fruits are healthy, but it's also incomplete to just have that as your meal.
True.
So that was what I was doing. It worked, but when I got to nutrition school, that's when I learned the right way to eat healthy, and I think that's really what I've been practicing until now. And yeah, it's actually really more of being aware of what you put into your body. And how it also influenced me was, since I really love to eat, I used to be a food blogger, like I would eat a lot.
Wow.
Aside from being passionate about the taste, the art of food, right? You now understand, you have a deeper understanding of food and how it actually affects your body. So it also helps you to make better choices, especially in choosing your food, choosing your meals, right? So what I actually like to say a lot is our food choices are the most important decisions we make each day.
And we eat every day.
And how many times a day?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's ironic because not a lot of people actually give much thought to it.
That's true.
Right? Like how food affects your health, your whole day, actually your mood, your energy levels. So it's the most important decision that we make every day.
So even scientifically, you can prove that by eating the right food, it will even help your mood?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's a study?
Yes. It's a fact because there is a connection between our gut and our brain. So it's through the vagus nerve. So it's really true, right? When you're hungry, you're irritated, and that's prompted by your brain because your brain is telling your body or telling you that you need to eat. That's a physical cue for hunger.
How can you, for example, differentiate what could be good for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner? Because I've heard so many just different advices left and right saying you should skip breakfast, just have brunch. Or why don't you have breakfast, it's the biggest meal of the day, and not eat dinner? I mean, it's just so confusing to know who should I follow. There are different diets, for example, the ketogenic diet or the intermittent fasting.
Yes.
I know, Janice, you've had your fair share also of experimentation. Like, how do you know, Justine, which one is the best, most effective? Which one works?
Well, all of us are actually very unique from each other, so we all actually have different needs. And a lot of factors come into play. Even if we have the same ethnicity, like we're all Filipinos, even if we have common blood types, it doesn't mean that those are the only factors to take into consideration. So other factors, other variables come into the picture, like your lifestyle, your preferences, and of course your genetics as well, your genes. So basically, in terms of what meals should you be taking in a day and how much, or what the quantity is, what the amount is. It basically depends on your routine or your lifestyle. Yeah, and of course, it's really best to have yourself or to consult with a nutritionist so you can be assessed properly. And that's why our nutrition plans are really personalized, because yeah, if I were to mention like one of the fad diets before, like the blood type diet, like people think, yeah, if
We haven't tried that yet.
blood type A,
Blood type?
yeah.
So like there are a list of foods that
Yeah, a
are
list of
available
foods
for
that-
your...
Or you cannot eat
Yes.
based on your blood type.
Yeah, so like for example, type A, blood type A people can't really have meat, so they eat just more vegetables.
Is that really like applicable, or is it
Yeah.
So yeah, of course not, because you really can't just you really can't just base it off of your blood type, right? Again, we all have different genes, genetic makeup, we have different lifestyle preferences. So it's best to be professionally assessed by a nutritionist before you actually make changes to your diet, because again, it can really have a big impact. It can really affect your health and even your mood, even to the littlest things in your day that you don't actually notice. Yeah.
So what can you say about supplements? There's like a lot of vitamins out there.
Right.
You go to the mall, you go to the grocery, they're all there. So what is your take on supplements?
Yeah, so supplements are basically just an addition to your current diet or your current intake. So it's best to consult with a doctor, so you would know if this supplement is really recommended for you. And there now is actually advanced lab tests to determine the specific nutrients that your body actually needs or is really depleted of, that you would need to supplement with a supplement.
What kind of test is it? So interesting.
It's nutrient testing. So they find out like the specific vitamins, minerals that your body doesn't store very well, or that your body is usually very low in. And so that's why we also have designer nutraceuticals, or personalized vitamins, diba, or supplements, na they really formulate it based on those tests to only create the specific vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So for example, like vitamin C, like the general recommendation is I think around 70 milligrams a day, and diba, usually our supplements are 500 to 1,000 milligrams a day. Yeah, so for some people, they might need 100, 150 in a day. For some people, it's 70. For some people, it could be even higher or lower. So even if we all need the same kind of vitamins and minerals, we also have different levels of need for that.
Didn't know that. So, in relation to that question, what's your take on multivitamins, where, everything is just set for you, considering that apparently we need to have everything personalized for us? Do you think multivitamins can still work in a way?
Yes, possibly, but supplements are synthetic, right? So they're synthetically made, so our bodies are actually built to accept what's most natural. So that's why we nutritionists really promote food as food first, the food first approach if you want to get your nutrients for your body. So natural food is still the best source of multivitamins, of course from our fruits and vegetables, because it's most available to our body. So our body absorbs it best. As compared to supplements, it's synthetic, so actually only a very small percentage is absorbed in your body, and it's like an expensive way to get your nutrients.
So it just goes to waste because your body is
Some of it,
absorbing what
yes.
it needs. That is so interesting. I mean, let me ask you just, another follow-up question. I'm so interested about this topic, about health and fitness, how it really naturally occurs in your body in a very scientific way. And since you're here, I just have to ask. So, for example, you take the right amount of vitamins. How does that benefit your body versus not taking the right amount of vitamins, or not really overdosing, but having too much of, right? Having too much of the vitamins that's not for you. Like, for example, if we can compare it from person A to person B, what would happen?
Yeah, so there are micronutrient deficiencies now because vitamins and minerals are micronutrients, meaning we only need them in small quantities. And there are two categories of vitamins. There's water-soluble and fat-soluble vitamins. So usually the water-soluble vitamins, which is our B vitamins and the vitamin C, are replenished every day in our body through our food, right? But fat-soluble vitamins are stored longer in our body, so we don't need to replenish it as often. Yeah, so there is a danger in toxicity and overdosing on fat-soluble vitamins since they're stored in our bodies, and actually toxic metals that we might be exposed to, or that we might certain chemicals that are, especially from processed foods, no? There are, or even in contaminated vegetables and fruits, like there might be toxic metals there that we can ingest, and they usually stick to our fats. So, so it's very important to actually know, your limits in terms of the micronutrients that you need. So with multivitamins, we assume that we don't actually absorb 100% of it. So it's not common to get overdose on multivitamins.
Okay.
Unless a person has a medical condition that
I was getting
they're-
worried there.
Yeah.
100. I'm taking like 1,000
1,000
vitamins.
Stop all the vitamins.
Just pee it all out. So the excess
Okay, good to
is
know.
removed from our body through urine. So that's the kidney's job. So yeah, that's why we also have to be careful in drinking supplements, because our detox organs, which is our liver and our kidneys, the ones that process the things that we eat, they're gonna be overworked, or they might even be damaged by the components of those supplements if we're not careful with checking on the ingredients or the quality of the supplements. So it's really best to ask your doctors, because nutritionists, it's not normal for us to recommend supplements, because again, we're really more of the food first approach.
Food first.
Yeah.
Is there a certain health and exercise regimen for a certain age, especially like for the older,
Right.
People?
Yeah, sige. So I think I want to highlight on calcium, calcium and bone density. So as we reach the age of 30 and above, our calcium stores in the body start depleting. So the calcium in our bones start, they tend to get removed. I forgot the term for it, but they tend to go back into the bloodstream and then they're excreted from our bodies. Okay, so it tends to get depleted at the age of 30, and that's exactly why.
Oh my gosh.
That's exactly why we also need to make sure that we're eating enough sources of calcium, and not only calcium but vitamin D as well, because vitamin D improves the absorption of calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. So those are the components of our bones. So if we want strong bones to prevent ourselves from getting injured, this is common in older people. They get hip fractures, and that's what causes their health to degrade afterwards. So what's important is you, again, eat a healthy diet that you get enough calcium and vitamin D from. And with exercise, there's really more emphasis now on strength training. So not really weightlifting, but resistance training and strength training for
core.
older people.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
even up to how long do you think can they go to the gym? Like, is there a certain age for that? Are you taught anything
Fitness
about
is a
fitness?
lifelong journey, and it should be a lifelong pursuit. Okay? Because why would we stop exercising? No, our bodies are made to move. There's a saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, and that applies to muscles. If we don't use our muscles, we're gonna lose it. Example is a person who's bedridden in the hospital, right? You notice that they get really thin and scrawny the longer they stay on bed rest, because they lose muscle mass, because you're not using your muscles, you're not moving your body. So our bodies are really made to move. and exercise. So
That's
yes.
true. Over time,
Yes.
if you don't use
Weaker,
it.
yes. So less muscles, less protection for our bones as well. So that can also lead to injuries and fractures. So
Yeah.
we really need to exercise and eat the right diet, eat healthy, so we can preserve our bone health and stay strong and have a good quality of life as we get older.
Right.
That's really good to know. Such good
Because
information.
most
It
people think,
is.
diba, na tiguang na siya,
Yeah.
don't let them exercise, just let them
Yes.
rest,
Yeah,
let them sit
exactly.
down.
Exactly.
No, but we actually have to encourage them to exercise. And a lot of people, they wait for something to happen to them to get diagnosed, and then the doctor will tell them, oh, now you need to do lifestyle management, now you need to eat right, and now you need to exercise. And that person hasn't built that habit previously, so it's even harder the older you get. And that's the time you actually wait to decide to exercise or do something about your health. So the earlier, the better, right?
That's true.
And yeah, it's nice that the pandemic has actually, or I think this generation is actually more health conscious as well. Yeah,
That's
I
true.
see more people going to the gym or exercising at home. So I think more people are more aware now of how important it is
right.
for our health.
Like even in our generation, we think about the different alternatives that we can have. Like we still want to, we still want to indulge, but at the same time, we're looking for guilt-free options, which is why a guilt-free coffee or, sugar-free products or things that are plant-based, like, meatless meat, things like those, because we still want to indulge. And I think we can spark this as some sort of health revolution.
Yes.
And it's striking me so much right now because there are so many people who didn't know that they could have been saved by
Yes.
food.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
As simple as,
Wow.
so the top killers of our country, the thing that's really killing most people right now is really rooted in obesity. Okay, it's being overweight, not being within your normal weight, and of course your lifestyle. So if you also smoke, if you also drink, that can really affect your health. So diabetes and heart disease are among the top killers of our country. And ironically, what can fix it is actually our lifestyle, because it's caused by our lifestyle. So if we just manage how we eat and how we move, how much we move, then that can really save a lot of lives.
And if we get the proper information,
yes.
that would really help everyone, because like we get all these information from the internet and everywhere, and we don't even know which one is true.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I wanted to say earlier that in the US, it took a while for them to actually regulate the title nutritionist, and that's why we have a lot of books about diets or nutrition by people who aren't actually qualified to write about it, because it wasn't a regulated title before.
Right.
And so it was only recently that the US regulated the title, and so here in the Philippines, we have R&D after our name, so it's Registered Nutritionist-Dietitian. In the US, it's RDN, so Registered Dietitian Nutritionist, because it came later. Yeah, so now that's better, but because it took them so long to regulate the title, and a lot of books were already written, even by doctors, and doctors, all due respect to doctors, they are really trained for disease management, for disease care, emergencies, and when you already have medical conditions, but they actually have very little units on nutrition in their curriculum. So they don't know nutrition as deep as we do. That's why we have our profession.
So it's really like a specialization.
Yes.
That's it's completely focused on the benefits of food,
food
and
and how it affects your body.
Yes.
So
so much.
the more people learn more
Wow.
about what kind of food or what this food does to your body, you'll actually learn to appreciate it more. Because, like, for example, there were a lot of vegetables that I don't also really like when I was younger, or I don't make sure to have. But now that I know that, like, carrots have beta-carotene and ampalaya is good for diabetes, okay, I should eat this. So I really push myself to eat those vegetables, and I enjoy it already. So when you know the benefits of this food for your body, then you'll really appreciate it more and look for it.
Yeah, or you know, like me, I could just force myself. Like, I guess for the help.
Yes.
Yung ampalaya, because you know it has a very bitter taste.
Yes.
You can tell yourself, okay, I just need 75 grams of whatever that
Yes.
is.
You can take it.
Yeah, not everybody can take
That's
it.
true. But at least we have options, and I'm glad to know that these are things that I wish we were told. I wish we were educated as kids.
Yeah.
I wish it was normalized. Because
So
whenever...
calling on the academe, calling on the academe, we really need you to include nutrition, more of a nutrition in the curriculum of secondary school. Or
Right, or
The
probably
earlier they know
even...
The earlier they know, the better.
True.
Yeah.
We
But
can-
important is also the parents actually that they
the
model
parents.
this to their kids.
Yes.
Because if parents just tell their kids to eat vegetables but they themselves don't, kids are smart. They don't get fooled. So
Guilty.
you're not even eating vegetables. Why should I?
I think it should be more of not just, of course, the institution education is very important in spreading the awareness, but I just wonder why it's not, you know, of cultural value. Like traditionally, every time we celebrate, we tell ourselves, cheat day. And then we gorge on, oh my gosh, the fattiest, most oily, fried food. We, as, you know, society, we love to indulge. But how nice would it be if we had celebrations and all of the food was healthy and good for us?
Yeah, right. That was my dream before. That's why I took up culinary and nutrition, because I wanted to open my own catering clinic. So in the catering side, like I wanted to serve food that is acceptable for anybody, even with medical conditions. Because I did in parties, right? Like you have to check the food, like can I have this or not? So if it's safe for everyone, then you can just enjoy the party and not have to worry about choosing what to eat and feeling deprived while everybody else gets to eat this. So
Oh, that's so nice.
that was originally the plan. But hopefully I can still do it in the future.
Oh, let's collaborate. Let's do that. We can have like a Lumiché guilt-free buffet. That's a plan for Janice.
Yeah, why not?
In collaboration with our clinic. What kind of clinic is that again? Healthy
Catering.
clinic.
It's a catering clinic.
In collaboration with a catering clinic. Oh, that's a great idea for something we can do. I love that. Thank you so much, Justine. You know what? I am learning so much. I know Janice is learning so much, and hopefully our viewers are learning so much. And we don't have all the time in the world, but we do have time for a segment that we call Steer the Stereotype. So what we do here is that there are different stereotypes that we encounter, especially in our field, in our industry. And what I want you to do is I want you to prove them wrong with whatever statement that you have. So I want you to think of a stereotype that you want to disprove right now. Can we do that?
Sure. I think I have two, if it's okay to share.
Perfect.
So one that's related to what I do is how people think that clean eating or healthy eating is all about calories and all about a person's weight.
So it's not.
So it's really not, right? So for example, 100 calories of fruits is definitely different in nutritional content compared to 100 calories of crackers or biscuits. So quality is just as important as quantity. And usually this is actually what I push or what I tell my clients. Focus on quality first and quantity can follow, because if you improve the quality of your diet first and not have to worry about calories, you'll find that you're actually eating more, but the quality is a lot better, and it reduces cravings, your mood is better, your skin is better, so your energy level is better. So for me, quality is actually just as important as quantity. And with weight, our health is not determined by our weight alone. Again, we were talking about calcium and bone health. So it's really about fitness is really about a person's quality of life and their health, right? So even if you're thin. A person may look thin, but some people are actually skinny fat, like they have fatty liver.
Yeah. Skinny fat.
Yeah,
That's
so
a term.
what matters is our body composition. So it's how much fat and muscles the proportion of fat and muscles in your body. So if you really want to aim for fitness or for good health, then it's really best to manage your body fat.
Wow.
And muscles as well for strength and to prevent injuries or fractures as we get older. So it's better really to focus on quality of life and to think of health and fitness as a lifetime or a lifelong journey and pursuit, right? It's something we have to aim for the rest of our life.
Right.
Yeah, and the second one is how women in their 30s are expected to be married or to have kids.
Yes!
Ma'am, kaya nakabok imong anak, ma'am.
Thank you for talking about that.
Kami yung pagminyo na, ma'am. Uy, kaya na.
So sa every reunion, no? Kamusta man ka mga anak? Kaya kamusta man ka magminyo?
So I'd like to emphasize that being a mother is not the only way to be a fulfilled woman, right? It doesn't have to be the thing that completes your womanhood. So being single and happily single is single blessedness, no? It's still part of life. Your destiny, it can be your destiny as well, and it's not. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's better to be a responsible individual than to have kids and get married just for the sake of fitting into society and everybody's expectations. And ang luoy biya kay ang bata, di ba? If you're not actually mentally, emotionally mature enough to raise kids that are good for the society, then you're not a good parent. You're not a good person in society. It's a selfish thing to do if you just want to have kids or be married because you're already at a certain age or it's what people expect of you.
Right.
That's right.
I love that. Very nail to the hammer, no? Hammer to the nail. I mean, these are things that should be talked about.
Yeah, and even if we want kids, it's still something that God blesses you with, right? Like no matter how much you want to have kids, how much you try, if it's not meant for you, right, then you really can't have it. Yeah, so it's something you have to pray for.
Thank you so much, Justinne.
Thank you also for having
given
me.
us so many insights, so many valuable information. Like I literally feel like my brain is exploding from all of the scientific terms. You know what? I'm trying to piece everything together. Okay, don't do this. Don't. You know what? I'm just gonna hire a nutrition dietitian.
Correct.
I'll just hire you. Sorry. One last thing. What is your last sentiments for those who want to follow you online? How can they do that?
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, my name is Justinne Go. Justine, that's double-N-E. And on Instagram, I'm Just Your Nutritionist. So,
Just Your Nutritionist.
Nice.
Nice play on your name. So that's all that we have. We hope that you all enjoyed. If you want more content like this, don't forget to follow, like, and share. Comment down below what you think we should be doing. And don't forget to post your creative coffee, a photo of you. If you want to be featured on our Lumiché socials, just send us a photo of how you prepare your Lumiché coffee with the hashtag guilt-free coffee. Send it on our Instagram, on our Facebook, anywhere you want. You will be featured. So that's it for today. Please remember to take care and always glow and flourish.